Welcome, you guys, to day 8 of our series. So, today's sketch is going to be fun. This is one of my favorite papers that we're going to be using. So, here's the sketch. I want you to go ahead and pause it. And, like I said on the other ones, this is available on my Pinterest page. I did save it to my card sketch series. So, we're going to be using this polka dot. I guess it would be polka dot. Uh, Paper. This is doesn't have any foil on this one. This is just flat, but it's still, it's a member of this collection, so it all ties in together. And I like to do that sometimes. If it's got foil accents, then like the base paper I may use without, one of the sheets that doesn't have the foil, and then whatever is going on top would be the accented piece. So on the mats, which you can see on the front page of the sketch when you go back to the beginning, if you pause it there, anywhere where you want to add a mat, just add 1/8 of an inch to it. So if it's 4 by 5, then it's 4 and 1/8 by 5 and 1/8, just to give yourself a little bit of a mat if you want to beef it up some. So that's what I did with this pattern paper here. And what's interesting is I used black, even though the bulbs are on like a black background. And I did that because I didn't want necessarily a huge distinction between the paper and the bottom, or the matte paperwork or paper, the polka dots that we did. But I wanted it to still have some weight to it. So I'm going to push this all the way up into the corner. So you only really see a small little sliver of that pattern paper. And real quick, we're going to change out our ATG gun. Now, if you want to see more of that paper, then what I would do is, instead of matting the bottom paper, just make it fit the size of the card. So you would make your the pattern paper 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, which is your actual A2 size card, and then that would give you just a little bit more showing. If you wanted to see more of that pattern. For me, it really wasn't a big deal, but I liked knowing that it was there and it had that um, substantial, so it gave it some weight. So here we go. And this is really pretty all in itself. But what I liked about this is the sketch had that stripe going down on the left hand side. And I was like, you know what? What's perfect is they have this washi tape, and we can literally put this going down. It already has some, it's snowflakes with foil, some I want to say one of the strips was like music notes. So there's a lot of different things you can do on this one. And I think I picked this one because it kind of reminded me of the base paper, but the rose gold accent. So we're going to go ahead and put that down. And then in the ephemera pack, they had similar shapes of these bulbs. And so I just put some fun foam behind one of them. And we're going to go ahead and put it right there on the center. I know, I want to say it said love initially, but I was trying to put something different. I didn't necessarily want just love for the sentiment, and I figured doing this, which would allow it to cover it up some, so then that way you get the Christmas joy. And I thought that would be a good sentiment for the front. And then on the second card we did, I used the round version. And it just so happened to fall that way, because of how I cut the paper. But I thought it really lends for giving it a little added dimension, because we put foam underneath those. So that way it gives it a little bit of distinction. But it's really, I think, a fun way. And it gave a little bit of interest to this particular sketch, which could be considered, on the simple side, and not a whole lot of room for, I guess you could do sequins and stuff like that, but it's so much with this paper, with the sparkle, the foil shine on it, that I really think you don't really need all that. So thank you guys for joining me. At the end, just like the last few sketch videos, we will have links to the 2 days prior. And down in the more section, there will be links to all of my social media. Make sure you check those out as well. Thanks again, you guys, and I hope you have a great day.